Uh, I'll just share the screen again. Today's Murli talks about Baba calling emperors. Baba addresses to many people here, like the girls, the Kumaris, the teachers, and then says that we are always supposed to be in pleasure because we are carefree emperors. We take Baba along in each and every step of our life, in day to day walks of our life. And that's how we take his direction and obey it to the fullest and just do the way he says to us. And that's how Baba says we are supposed to be in pleasure in a moment to moment basis. So I shall share the screen soon and we'll read the Murli. Yes. The Murli is dated 7th May 1983. The confluence age is the age of scenes of pleasure. Today, Bab Dada is seeing his carefree emperors, great and small. It is only at the confluence age that the gathering of the greatest emperors of all takes place. In no other age is there a gathering of so many emperors. It is only at this time that all of you see the gathering of carefree emperors, the gathering of self sovereigns, young and old. All of you know yourselves to be emperors and also move along, considering yourself to be the master of these bodies, pure souls. What would be, what would the soul be? The master, as self sovereign, a master of the self. Even the youngest child considers himself to be an emperor. Therefore, the gathering of emperors, that is, the gathering of self sovereigns, is so great. The one who makes others into the emperors of all emperors and the kings of all kings is so pleased to see the carefree emperors, the kings of the present time, who are to become the kings of the future. Throughout the whole cycle, would there be such a father whose hundreds of thousands of children would all be emperors? What would any one of you who is asked say? Even a young child would say, I will become Lakshmi or Narayan. All of you children think this. Do you not? Such a father has so much pride in his royal children. All of you also have the spiritual intoxication that you belong to the royal family of kings. Are you part of the royal family? So, today, Bap Dada was seeing every child. The father's children are so fortunate. Each and every child is fortunate. Together with this, you also have the cooperation of time because, to the extent that this confluence age is a short age, it is filled with as many specialities. The attainments you have at the confluence age cannot be attained in any other age. The confluence age is the age of scenes of pleasure. There is pleasure and nothing but pleasure. When you eat in pleasure with the Father. When you walk with your hand in the hand of the bestower of worship. When you drink the nectar of knowledge, you drink it with the Father, the bestower of knowledge. When you perform actions, you do so with the Karavanhar Father, whilst considering yourself to be an instrument. When you go to the sleep, you sleep in the lap of remembrance. When you wake up, you have a conversation with God. Your whole daily timetable is of the Father and you. When the Father is with you, there is no sin. When there is Bap, there is no Bap. So what would there be? There would be pleasure and nothing but pleasure. Would there not? Because the mind is not guilty. The mind is not occupied in negativity or overthinking. So that's how the mind experiences a sense of pleasure, right? Bab Dada was seeing and that all the children are living in great pleasure. You took this short birth to celebrate in pleasure. Eat, drink, and stay in the pleasure of remembrance. The duty of this subtle birth, that is, the virtue of this birth, is to stay in pleasure. This birth at this age has a blessing to it. It has a virtue in it. That is, it is said to be spent in remembrance and in pleasure. Baba says, your divine activity is to stay in the pleasure of service. The aim of this birth is to stay in pleasure and to make this whole world a world of total pleasure. Therefore, from morning till night, you stay in scenes of pleasure. Do you not? You spend your days and nights as carefree emperors. Do you not? So, did you hear what Baba saw in the subtle region today? A gathering of carefree emperors. Every emperor was experiencing the pleasure of remembrance and had the tilak of awareness being seated on the Father's heart throne. Acha. Today it is the day for meeting, and therefore Baba has come to meet his emperors. Right? So Baba says we are all carefree emperors, we are all self-sovereigns, that all we are also because we are constantly in remembrance of Baba. Baba guides us as we sit, as we eat, as we walk, as we talk, as we do our karma. And we receive directions at every point in time. That's why we are carefree. And Baba says when you have his company, there would not be the company of Baba. That's how you are let go of the sins, the burden of sins. And that's how we are in supersensuous joy or the pleasure. And that's why Baba says this entire age, the confluence age, is the age of experiencing the various scenes of pleasure. We see everything happening in the form of drama, right? To the constantly carefree emperors, to those who see the scenes of pleasure in a life of pleasure, to those who always stay with the constantly fortunate father, to such self sovereigns, the masters of the self, who are seated on the heart throne, to the multi-million times fortunate children, Bab Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Bab Dada meeting a group of small children. So today was the day of meeting there, the 17th May. So Baba is meeting the first group, that's a group of children. Do all of you children study, play, and move along whilst considering yourselves to be great souls. Always have the habit that you are great souls and the intoxication that you are the child of God, the highest on high. Have you seen God? Baba is asking the children. Where is he? If someone asks you to introduce him to God, are you able to do that? All of you are children of God. Therefore, as children of God, don't ever fight, do you? Do you make mischief? God's children are yogi. And so, why do you make mischief? Always consider yourselves to be great souls, yogi souls. What will you become? Will you become both Lakshmi and Narayan at one time? Or will you sometimes become Lakshmi and sometimes Narayan? Would you like to become Lakshmi? Acha. Constantly want to be Narayan, then constantly lead a peaceful and yogi life. And every morning when you wake up, definitely say good morning, Baba. Just don't wake up late. Get ready quickly and go wherever you have to go. Definitely sit in remembrance for even just 3 minutes and say good morning. Have a conversation and then get ready. Never forget this vow. If you don't say good morning, don't eat food. If you remember to eat food, then also first remember to say good morning. First say good morning and then eat your food. Revise your study of knowledge, imbibe virtues well, and you will become spiritual roses and spread fragrance throughout the world. Roses that are always in bloom constantly spread their fragrance. So you are such fragrant flowers, are you not? Do you remain constantly happy? So Baba, of course, Baba takes time and expresses this face to face, eye to eye to children, and Baba gets answers. So Baba is asking them, do you remain constantly happy? Or do you sometimes also become unhappy? You must feel unhappy when you don't get what you want, or when your mommy or daddy says something to you. Don't do anything that would cause your mommy or daddy to have to say something to you. Move along like angels do. Angels don't make any sound, whereas human beings make noise. You Brahmins, who are to become angels, don't make any noise. Walk in such a way that no one is ever even aware of it. Eat, drink, and walk as angels. Bab Dada is congratulating all of you children a great deal. You are very good children and always remain good. Cha. Bab Dada speaking to young girls. What is the praise of a Kumari life? Why are Kumaris worshipped? You are pure souls. So, all of you are pure souls who, with your pure remembrance, remain engaged in the service of making others pure. Whether you are young or old, you are able to give everyone the Father's introduction. Are you not? Even the young ones give very good lectures. If Bap Dada asked the youngest of you Kumaris to give a lecture on a big stage, would you be ready? You wouldn't hesitate, would you? You would not be afraid, would you? So Baba says, always consider yourselves to be a world benefactor soul who benefits all the souls of the world. You're not ordinary Kumaris, but elevated Kumaris. Yesterday's Murli also reiterated. Baba says, consider yourself to be Sarva Shaktivan. And I mean, Shakti's Baba would also support you as Sarva Shaktivan, that you are Sharini, right? Right? You're tigress. You do not have to worry about anything. You do not have the fear of the uncertainty, right? Baba backs up all children, all Kumaris with such blessing. You are not ordinary Kumaris, but elevated Kumaris. You elevated Kumaris do elevated work. Do you not? The most elevated task of all is to give others the Father's introduction and make them belong to the Father. People of the world are stumbling around and searching, whereas you have recognized Him and attained Him. You are such fortunate and lucky souls. You now belong to God. So, could there be any fortune greater than this? Like Baba says, tumhe pa, right? So, this is the greatest fortune, Baba says. Therefore, constantly have the happiness that you are a constantly fortunate soul. If you ever lost this happiness, you would sometimes cry and other times make mischief. Always live together with love and obey your parents, whatever they tell you. Constantly stay in remembrance of the Father from beyond this world, for only then will you be able to become elevated Kumaris, the parent being the Father Himself, right? You are the same Shaktis who are worshipped in the temples, are you not? You are Kumaris. Sorry. Each of you Kumaris can carry out a great task. You can become instrument for world transformation. Bap Dada has given you children the task of world transformation. Therefore, constantly stay in the remembrance of the Father and do service. Before doing service for world transformation, first transform yourself. You have now completely changed from your previous life. So now simply stay in the remembrance of being an elevated soul, a pure soul, a great soul, and a fortunate soul. You don't forget this remembrance when you go to school or college, do you? You're not colored by the company, are you? You're never attracted by food and drink, etc., are you? You never want to eat a few biscuits or have some ice cream, do you? You are firm ones who always eat Brahma Bhojan, that is cooked in remembrance, are you not? Just be careful that when you go back, that you don't become colored by company. Kumaris can make as much fortune as they want. From childhood, be interested in doing service, study, and also learn how to teach. If you become clever in childhood, you will become instruments to serve everywhere and grow up. At the time of establishment, they were little ones. They have now grown up and are doing so much service. You will become even cleverer than them. You are the fortune of tomorrow. Tomorrow, Bharat will become heaven, and so you are the fortune of tomorrow. Let anyone who sees you feel that you are not ordinary Kumaris, but special Kumaris. Whilst studying that study, let there be deep love in your heart for the study of knowledge. What is your aim after finishing your studies? To become an elevated soul and perform elevated tasks. You are not going to carry the burden of a job, are you? If there is some reason for that, that is a different matter. If your parents don't have any other means of income, that is a matter of necessity. However, always remember the present and your future. What will be of use to you? This study of knowledge will be used. Therefore, if you have to do worldly work in name, then in that too, let there be deep love in your heart for the Father and service. Therefore, all of you must become right hands. Don't become left hands. When all of you become right hands, destruction will be ready to take place. When all of you Shaktis come with a flag of victory, the period of Ravan's rule will come to an end. If you're going to become a Brahma Kumari, then what would you do with a degree? That study is so that you become broad minded in terms of general knowledge. It is not for any desire of your own heart. You shouldn't feel that you will take this degree this year and another degree next year and then another degree. If death were to come whilst doing that, then therefore continue to take advice from those who are instruments as to whether you should study further or not. There are some who don't think about the present or the future because of their interest in studying. They deceive themselves. You yourself have to make the decision for your life, not just do what your parents say. Be your own judge. You are Shiv Shaktis, so no one can tie you in bondage. She, not Shaktis, can be tied in bondage. Shaktis are portrayed riding lions. Lions live in the open, not enclosed in bondage. Therefore, always remember that you are the Father's right hand. So, Baba, as was addressing to Kumaris, said you have to be fearless, that you are free, that, that you are Baba's right hand. That you all, as you grow up, you should be in remembrance of Baba and do the service and have the habit of doing service. And as Bab Dada was meeting Kumaris who had come from far off places, who would return back to their places again, Baba said, don't get colored by the company. So Baba also reiterated that stay in remembrance of Baba and do service with this knowledge also, unless there is no requirement of making of getting into a job, do the job of spreading the knowledge of this Gyan, this the Baba's presence that he has come. Baba says, don't get into the bondage. You are lions who remain in the open. Well, Baba next meets teachers. Baba meeting teachers. Do you always have the awareness that you are instrument servers? Karavanhar, the one who makes you act, is making you an instrument and enabling you to do everything. So Karavanhar is responsible. Is he not? Because we are, the teachers are considering themselves to be the instrument and Baba is giving directions. So Baba is asking, Baba, Karavanhar is responsible. Is he not? Those who become instruments remain constantly light. You received a direction, you carried out the task, and you remained constantly light. Do you remain like this, or do you sometimes experience a burden of service? Because if you feel it to be a burden, there won't be success. By considering it to be a bondage, none of your actions will be accurate. In worldly work, too, when you feel a task to be a burden, you would break something, you would tear something. There would be some confusion in the mind, or you would get disturbed. The task would be successful either. In the same way, if you carry out this non worldly task as a burden, it won't be accurate. So Baba says, be light at heart when you're doing this service and you'll enjoy it. If you consider it to be a burden, then it wouldn't be accurate. Baba says you won't be able to be successful. The burden would then continue to increase and you wouldn't be able to experience the elevated fortune of the confluence age, that of being light and flying. Then what would you do having become a confluence stage Brahmin? If we don't experience the lightness and stage of flying, then at this confluence stage, even being the follower of Brahma, the Brahman, what would we be? What would we do? Baba says, therefore, remain constantly light and perform every task while considering yourself to be an instrument. This is known as being an embodiment of success. In today's world, they wear roller skates and move so fast. They are so light. Their speed becomes so fast. So when the Father is making you move, you have the skates of Sriman. By having the skates of Sriman, your speed of effort automatically becomes fast. Always move along whilst being such a server. Don't experience the slightest burden. Since Karavanhar is the father, why is there a burden? With this awareness, constantly continue to move in the flying state. Just constantly continue to fly. This is called being a number one worthy server. So follow the Srimad, be in the flying stage and continue to fly. So Baba says, such a one is worthy of is a number one worthy server. Just Baba, Baba and Baba. Let this soundless music continue to play at every second. Simply Baba and I remain constantly merged in this way, and then no third person will be able to come in between. When two are constantly merged in one another, both are happy and no one can come in between. This is known as being an elevated server. Are you like this? Don't look at anyone else. Don't listen to anything else. Even by just listening, an influence is created. Just Baba and I constantly celebrate in this pleasure. You worked very hard. It is now the time to enjoy and have pleasure. There is also a song. There is nothing but pleasure. When you get up, as you walk, do service and go to sleep, do everything in pleasure. Dance a lot, sing, be happy. Do service and happiness whilst dancing. Don't do it whilst limping along. At the confluence age, you have the pleasure of all relationships. Therefore, celebrate in a lot and pleasure. Constantly experience scenes of pleasure. Acha. So Baba here gave directions to teachers as well. Then follow the Srimad. You will go fast just as people skate. You will fly. You will experience lightness. You wouldn't feel your service of giving the awareness of Baba, the presence of having Baba come into this place to change the world, a burden. It would be accurate that you would experience success in it as well. So Baba says, be light and experience the scenes of pleasure. Acha, we'll sit in silence for some time and then share our take home messages. Om Shanti. So Girja sister in the chat has shared confluence age, Sangam Yug, shortest age, age of specialities. Three things: inheritance, study, and blessings. Only age when the great incorporeal Mela takes place. Begumpur ke Befikar Badshah, where emperors, emperors and kings are created. Age of pleasures from morning to night. Fixed timetable with God Himself. Yes. Any experiences of us feeling very light, that we have been the kings of our life? Any experiences of experiencing total freedom, carefreeness? Please share.
Om Shanti. Mhm.
Yes.
So, Baba highlighted everything that we do in our mundane work. So, this confluence age is a very special age for us, I mean, especially Baba's children, because everything that we do is we have a special company. We eat with Baba, we walk with Baba hand in hand, and then we drink, we get this nectar of knowledge every day to drink. And when we sleep in Baba's remembrance in his lap. So everything becomes special. So the life itself will become very special. So we feel like, we are separate from this world. So just because the company that we get from Baba, so this confluence age is overall a very, very good age, or we have to say it's the best time. If we take the whole cycle, though it is very short. So every scene is so nice. because the Almighty Authority is with us. And because of that, everything is becoming more memorable and more pleasure. Pleasure of remembrance is the main thing here. So everything we get is through this company. So the more we try to experience that company, the more we enjoy the time, the special time. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yes, brother. Exactly. It's like we have gotten a method to recharge the bank of pleasure, the sense of happiness. People think, what would I do in the real logic world, where people think this is the reality that we have to earn, we have to get items. People jump from one item to another, one activity to another, to experience that continuous flow of pleasure, the dopamine, right? So Baba here constantly gives us a method just to stay in remembrance. That method itself will give us all pleasure, right? So every walk of life, every talk of life, if we stay Baba, Baba, then we will get that continuous touching of happiness. There comes one more chat message. Only me and Baba, no one in between. Dancing and singing and experiencing pleasure in Baba's company. Revati sister says Baba is Karan Karavan Hat. Enjoy doing everything without worries and burden. Yes. The other day I was in a vehicle showroom and yes, sister.
Om Shanti, Vinod Bhai.
Good morning,
You
sister.
know, whenever this word carefree comes, and when I heard it for the first time, that's why I love to say that in Baba's words, complete. Like, even when you speak of the virtue of the most elevated man in Golden Yuga, there is that full sentence, Ola Kala Sampan and all. Same way for when Baba speaks for Yajna, Rudra Jnana. So even this, I love that word when Baba says, Begum Purke Befikar Bacha. So see, there are two specialities. First of all, Begum, no sorrow. So there is happiness, 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 pleasure, pleasure. Befikar. Why do I care when all my burdens are with you? When Baba says, Mayuna. So what do I care what happens to me tomorrow? What happened to me yesterday is history. But now I've held somebody's hand. What happened going to happen tomorrow is his lookout. So that kind of carefree. So that's why I that kind of mauj and all, it depends upon what you call as pleasure. If you ask somebody about happiness, I remember when I was young, I used to love poetry and all. Like, I don't know if you have read Robert Frost's poetry on No Man is an Island, or Stopping by the Woods, or The Solitary Reaper, or William Wordsworth's Daffodils. The kind of happiness they found over there. Or my most one is The Man with the Happy Shirt. The Man with a Happy Shirt. It's such a big story where the king wanted to know how was that fisherman happy, how he went down it, where he says it was his hard work which really made him happy. So there are n number of uh, literature and all. But when Baba is speaking, he's only speaking about the time now. He is not talking about fiction. He's not talking about imagination. He's saying it's only now. This is the only confluence age. That's why he's pulling all of us together. He's saying, I never disturb you any other time for the 4,900 years. So what an age to really enjoy so many things. If we were to write the list or attainments of this conference age, the first attainment is, of course, Baba, nothing but Baba, meeting Baba. But along with it, so many, like, buy one, get one free, they say. But I got one and I got so many things free, so many attainments, so many things. So I think we have to sit down and enjoy each, like as we are enjoying a nice a stick of ice cream, I feel sometimes. It's the age of real pleasure. And just see everything he has listed out to us from Amrit Vela till the end, what to do. For some people, it may sound, it looks something very fictional, but it lies just like that happy shirt man. How do you really enjoy? Conference age, I think the age which will never come back, which will, we have to wait another 4,900 years. The age when, lovely age, Om Shanti.
Yes, sister. I mean, I've always been motivated by this age, the confluence age, this 100 years. As you say, this confluence age, the times have joined together and suddenly has made a new age in front of me, or at least for me. You know, the perception of constantly experiencing those bits and pieces of time joined together makes a good confluence age of being constantly carefree. I, I was, I mean, there's a wonderful song, Main Hoon Na, you know, the lyrics of it is exactly what Baba would say. Sometimes Baba touches people and make them write lyrics. So this song, Main Hoon Na, is exactly um, what Baba says here. You know.
And see, even if you see the clock picture, that the hands of the clock, such little time, so I always think, is there a clock where the hand has gone and reached 12? So still Baba is saying enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So when I don't see it, there's never a clock picture, I think, showing the gap filled. I don't know whether there will be any picture like that, but that small gap makes us to say, oh my God, what if the minute goes, minute goes, minute goes? That also, makes you really enjoy. I also enjoy that clock picture, time nearly going. It's all a childlike feeling you have. After all, we are his children, so we should feel.
I think the reason why we are happy and the world, the people outside, right, the world outside is unhappy because of their thinking pattern, right? So Baba says we are carefree emperors. We are carefree. Why? Because we know what is going to happen tomorrow. We know the present. We know the past. We know the future. So even if something happens, right, it's going to be good only, right? So that trust we have within us, right? So when we have that everything is going to happen for a for a good note, so people gently don't worry. So even something happens, just for that moment, you still think that okay, this is going to change because I know I'm going to go to Parandam or to go to Satyug. So all that thought, right, is giving us happiness. But when people, outsiders, right, they do not have all these thoughts. So that's one reason why they have so much of worries, so much of, anxious about future, about what is going to happen tomorrow, their survival, their family, even about their future, everything. They start thinking and then create so much of problem, and that will eventually give only sorrow to them right in their life. So Baba is giving us so much of knowledge and keeping us busy to churn about it, think about it, and then enjoy by doing all that, the pleasure that we get through that. So really, that is what is making us a carefree emperor, I guess. Yeah. Option.
Bijit Bhai, just one thing I want to say. I will, sorry if you feel I may be wrong, but I will never say people outside cannot experience happiness. Let me tell you, I was Aurobindo's disciple. That one thing which he said about inner happiness, universal harmony, then measureless eternity, truth and beauty. This was for Aurobindo. And I remember that happiness which we used to have, or if suppose even if you're talking about an outside person, for an outside person getting up in the morning and say, hey, I'm alive today, or even going out and enjoying my morning coffee, or standing by and admiring a flower, all these are happiness. The missing link is they have not found the uh, the epitome of the one who created it, God. Their concept of that is not there. So maybe we are different. But even I have seen people outside, that kind of glow on their faces. Now, like child, they run. I have seen. And being Swami Aurobindo's, this I think that inner happiness, which and that eternity which he always emphasized was there. This is the only missing link, Baba, that we should be very proud that we have been chosen. Koto mein koi mein koi, 1 out of 1 million. He took us, picked us, chosen us, kept us in his heart. I think that's the only one thing they're missing. Otherwise, I think even outside people, I have seen them absolutely, absolutely dancing in happiness. It's just my point of mind, not to discount anything else. I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's so
possibly you're right. But I'm talking about the majority. So if you look at the majority and minority, I'm sure so. There'll be many people who are engaged in this sort of activity. So for them, yes, they might find a way to keep them happy. But overall, if you look at it, the whole flock, if you look at it, the majority are suffering and going through this problems, anxiety, and sorrow. Yeah. Function.
so well. I think many Baba's children they live both lives very well, and they know both versions of it. Yet many of them at a point in time they choose continue to stay in the remembrance of Baba, because that is like the source. They have gotten an unlimited source, an ocean which will never deplete, a big treasure bank. So I think that's how I've seen many motivation lectures of Baba's own children, like Sister Damini, or um, I'm not getting sister's name, but they've all been very good people in the walks of life. But yes, they have made this uh, this life a Ruhani life, you know, because they are experiencing so much of pleasure and so much of joy and getting the right direction. I I remember this song, the movie from the movie, uh, Diwani Mastani. Sister Damini has made a very fine, refined remix version of it, causing Ruhani, you know. at the end, she says, Damini has become Ruhani. Damini Ruhani ho gayi, you know. That has a very fine sense of music and dance in it. As Baba says, no, right today, Baba is addressing to the Kumaris as well. He says, you have to sing and dance and be in that fine tune of Baba. So that Ruhaniyat comes very much uh, in the lives of sisters. Baba also today mentioned, consider yourselves to be the worthy of worship idols which are worshipped by people. You know, oh, one day I was just sitting in a showroom, a vehicle showroom, and I was just waiting for the customer service personnel to come and talk. I then I opened this Murli and Baba had mentioned that consider yourselves to be idols. And I don't know, I was wondering how that word hit me or how that scene came in front of me. I wondered, isn't it what we are all looking at to become and the greater versions of ourselves? The idols are actually greater versions of themselves, you know, and after getting into that stage, people are now worshipping. I mean, in Logic, we say there is so much of fan following to a person, to an artist, or to a person who is doing a great job in the social forum. No? So Baba says you are also doing a great job. You are also to be becoming those worthy of worship souls. So Baba inspires us like that. But if there is any more experience sharing, well then we will wind this session. So sister says, "मैं हूं ना 2004 movie song Sonu Nigam." Yeah, yeah. That song also has a very fine lyrics in it. So if sister permit, may I sing a few lines of it? It goes very well with the same uh, tune of the Murli today.
All right, brother.
किसका है ये तुमको इंतजार मैं हूं ना, देख लो इधर तो एक बार मैं हूं ना, किसका है ये तुमको इंतजार मैं हूं ना, देख लो इधर तो एक बार मैं हूं ना, खामोश क्यों हो, जो भी कहना है कहो, दिल चाहे जितना प्यार उतना मांग लो, तुमको मिलेगा इतना प्यार मैं हूं ना, किसका है ये तुमको इंतजार मैं हूं ना, देख लो इधर तो एक बार मैं हूं ना, ना कभी जो तुम सोचो कि तुम ये देखो, अरे कितना मुझको तुमसे प्यार है, तो चुप मत रहना, ये मुझसे कहना, और कोई ऐसा भी यार है, दिल ही नहीं है दे जान अभी दे जो तुम्हें, दिल ही नहीं दे जान भी दे जो तुम्हें, तो मैं ही कहूँगा सरकार मैं हूँ ना, किसका है ये तुमको इंतजार मैं हूँ ना, देख लो इधर तो इन बेकरार मैं हूँ ना। थैंक यू। ओम शांति।
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Vinod Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. This intoxication of remembering Baba, that Baba is always there for me. In that awareness, let's have a wonderful day. And we meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.